We are live.
Hey, are we?
I hope we're live. I don't know.
I hope so.
We'll-
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see if we're live. But hey, everyone, welcome to our kitchen in Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us. We are a little bit stressed right now. You can see we already poured a martini because I got up early this morning.
You did.
Set up all our equipment, got it all ready because I knew I was going to do a live stream. So we set it all up, and about an hour ago, I decided to adjust the camera a little bit, and the leg fell out of the table that I keep my computer on, and the whole thing went smashing to the ground.
The computer table I made him.
Yeah, in fact, I could probably show it to you here if I think so. Anyway, yeah, there we go. That's what my monitor looks like right now.
So I think he just wanted to get a new monitor before the tariffs are totally in play.
Yeah, I don't know. I really did like this monitor though. But hey, I think that bird's going to chirp through this whole thing too. But,
Cleo might. Well. If she does, I'll bring her
But
out.
anyway, hey, I'll go back. Let me bring us back on. You can stop looking at my broken monitor. And well, anyway, thank you for joining us. Cheers. You know,
we're going for straight vodka here.
Yeah.
Because of the computer.
Yeah. Anyway, well, you know, it's a shame. It's my editing computer too. So until I get a new monitor, I can't edit.
It's his porn computer too.
Yeah. That's 24 inch, 27, whatever. Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about our plans for this year, where we plan to vote, the upcoming voting season. And then I think we're going to talk a little bit about how some of our viewers could possibly join us on a leg of the cruise. Or, you know, 1 leg, 2 leg, hey, who knows. And then I think at the end we'll do maybe some
Q&As.
Yeah, we'll do some question and answering at the end. So if you have any questions, let us know, or put them in the comments. I see people are commenting. I should probably check just to make sure they're not all saying we can't see you. You know? Okay. No, it does look like people can see us. So I guess this is work. 'Cause I had to switch. So what happened is I had to switch to my laptop immediately. So this last half hour, 45 minutes, I've been plugging things in and doing all that. So
that's why we're drinking straight vodka right now.
Yeah. So hopefully the quality is good and all that. So anyway, this year's plans. So I know we've said this before, but our goal this year is to get all the way to Puerto Rico.
Yep, and the Mona Passage is something I'm a little scared about.
Yeah,
but
Lynn's scared.
Hey, I want the patch.
Yeah, Lynn is scared of everything until we do it, and then she's like, that's not.
Well, I do want to do it. I do want to do the Mona Passage because it's a challenge. I think it would be exciting.
Yeah. Well, we're excited because these are places we haven't been. So here's the idea. Well, let me give you a map. This might be a little bit more helpful.
Here's a map.
Yeah, here's a map of what we plan to do this year. So we are going to leave Titusville, and you can look at the red line there. That's our way down south, and then we're going to turn around and we're going to come back up. So we're going to leave Titusville, head down to West Palm area, shoot across to West End, Bahamas, to Chub Key, and then to Nassau. That's kind of the first leg of our trip. And then from Nassau all the way down to Georgetown, we're going to go through the Exumas, and we are going to stop at, well, probably about 8 different places, all our favorites, probably like Boo Boo Hill or, Staniel, Rudder Key. Yeah, well, we're going to stop at all those different places. And then from Georgetown, the next leg, we are going to go to, we're going to go to Turks and Caicos, shoot over to the Dominican Republic, and then head to Puerto Rico. And then you can see the blue line here. We're going to turn around after we circle around Puerto Rico, head back up to Georgetown through the Turks and Caicos, but then we're going to take the Eleuthera train. Boy, I can't even say that. The Eleuthera chain of islands. We're going to take that to Spanish Wells, and then we're going to head back to America, and then we're going to go to Key West, hopefully, if all the timing works out properly. So let me just I'll remove that there. So that's the plan.
And you are right, Richard Matten, that Puerto Rico is beautiful. We have been there several times on a cruise ship.
Yeah, on a cruise ship.
And
we've never been there, but there's so many nice places we want to stop along. We're going to go along the southern part of Puerto Rico. There's a number of marinas and islands, or not islands, but ports there that we want to stop at. So that's the plan.
You know? I do want to say too, it's so cool to see where everybody's from.
Oh yeah.
And I guess my shout out from the burbs of Philadelphia.
So, okay, so, well, that's the plan. Yeah, we've had this plan before. As you know, our last season was cut short because of a anchoring problem. I'm not expecting that this year, so hopefully not. And hey, I don't know, I'm kind of determined this year that we're gonna make it to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
We'll
happens.
see how heavy that new chain, we'll give that windlass a test, but, he said that the chain was good for the windlass.
Oh, yeah. We updated, if you watch our previous videos, you see that we updated all our ground tackle. We have a new chain. We went up to 3/8 chain. We only had 1/4 inch chain on this boat before,
Yeah.
believe it or not. We have a new anchor, of course. We got a new motor for the windlass. We refinished the capstan. We have a new Wildcat, so, and new swivels. We got to do everything on this ground tackle. So we're hoping that we have no issues this year with that. But well, anyway, we on this trip, as if you've watched our previous videos, you know that we often invite viewers to join us on different legs of the trip. And there's a number of them here, and I posted on our Facebook page our rough itinerary.
Right.
And so we've had we've met great people. We've had a number of people join us on the trip before.
Chris and Craig, we
Yep.
didn't know them from Adam, other
Yep.
than just commenting
No.
on the channel
Yeah.
itself.
No, we met
And
them.
they're good friends now.
Yeah,
Eric and Dana,
yeah.
we didn't know them from Adam,
Yeah.
and they came on the trip, and
Yeah.
they're good friends
Actually,
now, so
Joey and Lori, we didn't know either. We had met them
No.
once in Annapolis. But hey,
The
you know what?
Annapolis boat show.
If you remember Joey and Lori, they've been on our boat a couple of times.
Everybody knows Joey and Lori.
There's Joey and Lori. Okay, so they are joining us this trip for a good portion of it.
We're so excited
So
about
you've
that.
got the two of us. We're probably going to have Joe and Lori for most of the trip, maybe all the trip. Who knows? But there's room for 3 couples on our boat. There's actually room for 4, but we like to have 3 because we need 1 room for storage. Because when you do the long trips, you just need a lot of storage room.
Right,
So,
right.
so that's why we take 3 couples.
Right.
So anyway, if you have an interest in that, I'd say, you guys know us, you know our personalities, you know what we look like and all that. What we would like is if you send us a little video clip, describing yourselves and your interest in what leg of the trip you might want to do, maybe what type of skills, have you been on boats before, things like that. And this way, we can learn a little bit about you too, because when you're on the water like this, you spend a lot of time
together.
you know.
So, like some things, just for instance, Lori was very experienced.
Yeah.
Lori Joe, she was very experienced with boating. She knew how to do the mapping, the weather, blah blah blah. Now, Kristen didn't know anything, so I taught her, and so she now sends me little clips of her, like, look, Lynn, I did this, and
Yeah.
she's doing a great
Yeah,
job.
I think they might even be in the Bahamas now. I don't know. If they're not, they're going anyway. And then, well, we did have we had Shay from Shay Levy join us
Right.
last year. She was a blast. We had a lot of fun with her.
She was the only single person we had, but there's a reason for that.
Yeah. Well, she has her own channel. We wanted to get to meet her too. But having said that, yeah,
She's an amazing
We
person.
really do prefer couples when you're looking to join us. It's the dynamic. It gives Lynn and I both somebody to talk to. So we do prefer couples. But anyway, yeah, if you have an interest. Now, notice that some of the legs are longer than others. For instance, the leg down the Florida coast, that's what that's what Shay did last
That's
year.
the name of her YouTube channel.
Yeah, check it out, Shay Levy.
She has a Hatteras. Check it out.
And she was with us, I think, for about 4 days or something down the coast. So that's a very short leg. And then, the leg from America to Nassau, that's, maybe a week leg there or something like that. But from Nassau to Georgetown, that's 2 weeks. Probably would be at least that from Nassau to, from Georgetown to Puerto Rico. That's going to be at least 2 weeks. Then we're going to come back that way again. And then probably the Georgetown through the Eleuthera Spanish Wells chain, that's going to be at least 2 weeks as well. Maybe even a little, it depends. I guess if we stop at Nassau, it'll be about a 2 week.
Well, I want to spend longer times at places this year. I just, want to check out the place a little longer than rather go in and hop and jump. Just explore it a little bit more.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we like to do. We got a lot of work to do to get ready. I don't even know what today's date is. The 6th or something like that.
Today's the 6th,
Yeah,
and matter of fact, just random. Our old Slip and Pier 5 today, and at like 1:35, a boat caught on fire there in our old slip.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I feel really sorry, Lucretia. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Yeah,
about your
yeah,
boat,
there's a
man.
friend of ours there's boat. It's on fire. It could be on fire right now for all I know. We haven't been
No,
down
I'm sure
there,
they put it
but
out.
we saw it in the news that, and it's in our slip where we always were. If you saw our earlier videos when we were in Philadelphia, we were right along the dock there.
Pier
Pier
5 next to Cherry Street
Yeah,
Pier.
so we'll
In
see. I
Philadelphia.
hope she wasn't in it. We don't know much about it. We just saw it.
I don't think anybody was in it,
No.
but yeah, I feel really bad because to lose a boat like that
Yeah.
is a crying shame.
Yeah, but.
I would be devastated.
Okay, now I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, okay, our projects. Okay.
Sorry, I do that to 'em all the
Squirrel,
time.
you know. We have a lot to do to get ready because right now it's the 6th. We're going to leave for Florida. Right after Easter, we're going to leave. We're going to head down. there.
Literally the next day.
Yeah, and we're having the boat pulled. We're going to go on the hard this year.
Right.
And because we want to paint the bottom of the boat. And we're also going to get surveyed. I have a survey plan because we need to get the boat surveyed because I want to shop around for insurance. And you really can't do that with my survey is 8 years old now.
Well, the thing is now with the older boats is they want them surveyed if you're kind of going to get a good deal
Yeah,
on
so-
insurance.
So yeah, that's part of the plan. So we're going to pull the boat. Plus, we have other things that we're going to be doing as well. I want to change the batteries this year. The starting battery banks. Not our lithiums are all great. We love the
Yeah.
new lithium. The
The Epics are awesome.
They're fine. But if you watched last year's video, we had some problems with our starting battery bank. So I'm going to replace the batteries on that. That's kind of a big project. I also think it might be why our bow thruster is not working now. We're keeping our fingers crossed because it occurred to me, I thought we had blown the motor, but then I realized that the batteries that operate the bow thruster are actually the bad battery bank. So it could really, this whole time, it could just be a bad battery bank, and that's why I don't have a bow thruster.
I originally think that was Chris's idea. When she was on the boat, she said,
maybe.
you know, you should check the battery for it. And I really hope so.
But that's a project. What else are we doing on the boat? You had some things you wanted to do, I know.
Well, there are some things I want to do. I want to finish painting the bow, which is coming out fantastic. We just ran out of paint, so we had to buy some more. Anyway, we are doing the cushions.
Oh yeah. We have.
And-
we brought the cushions from the bow. The seat in the bow. We brought
Let
them.
me see if I can get the card for
Okay.
who's doing it.
Well, yeah, we brought them back here to Pennsylvania. Lynn had an idea that maybe she was going to upholster them, but she changed her mind, and we took it to a place because we have a buddy, Mike and Sherry. They have a boat down the shore. In fact, that's been in an earlier video. And we love their fly bridge. The upholstery is just phenomenal on it. We asked them who to hook us up with their guy.
Yeah.
So we went there with Mike about a week or so ago. We took our cushions. We said, "Here, make them nice." So
It's J&S Marine Canvas and Cushion.
yeah. They're not gonna be able to read that.
But anyway, we're really excited about
Yeah.
it because he had some good advice for me on the cushion. So, he's the canvas man. Was just like, do what you know.
Yeah.
And so we're super excited
we're
about
excited
that.
about that. And what else are we doing on the boat? I think we're.
But the people, our Patreons know all about the cushions.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been keeping them updated with that
Yep.
thing.
But once we're pulled too, I think I got a little bit of work I want to do on the swim platform. I have that little chunk that came out of our spray rail from us rubbing against the piling after the last hurricane. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of little
Wait,
things.
there's also the other chunk from Nassau, from the boat.
Yeah.
So like when we came into Nassau, bolts here, it's high tide, and then it was low tide. I looked for bolts, but then it got low tide, and it just
Was that
and
Nassau?
that
Yeah,
was Nassau,
that was
yeah.
Nassau, yeah. Oh.
So I actually left in a Sharpie on the piling, watch lower bolt.
Okay. Okay, well, here, any other, I think we had written something down, I don't know. Well, anyway, let me try to read some of these. A lot of people are commenting, and I apologize, we're kind of rambling here. We're not able to, like, see some of the messages coming through. Wow. North Carolina, Captain Sterling. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for commenting. You know what we did last time is that I know we didn't get a chance to actually
Yeah, this would be
read this,
easier.
to read these very well. So what we ended up doing is that we ended up doing a follow-up video to this
answering
video when we
questions.
went through and answered all the questions, because I know
Excuse me.
we are just not going to be able to do that this time. I can tell already.
Can
but,
you read that?
yeah, I can. I'm wearing my glasses. So.
We're like, we don't have bifocals. We have one set of glasses for seeing far away and one set of glasses for seeing close up.
Yeah, that's because we were way
We're
too
getting-
young for bifocals. You know. Oh well, thanks. Again, I can't comment on all these, but I'm definitely going to. We will follow up here for everyone. But I'm reading now, so if you have any questions. Yeah. But
I'm gonna make some more.
oh no, yeah,
Another.
yeah, please. You know what? I actually onions.
Okay. Wait.
It actually, I know, it's no longer a martini. Once I put the onion in it, it becomes a Gibson.
Is it even if it's not gin?
Yeah, no, it could still be a Gibson with an onion.
Oh, I have the things here.
Yeah, I got it.
So what's everybody else drinking out there? Anything good?
You know, there's a delay on this, so that just so you know, if you make a comment, it doesn't show up for like almost a minute for us to see it. So.
I know our favorite author is drinking on the bow.
Oh yeah, Doug. Hey, thanks. Our favorite author, Doug Verzati, who writes some great books on boating. You got to check those out.
You really do.
I think I
They're
put them
good.
in some videos before too.
Yeah.
We're actually mentioned in one, so we're in one of the
And
chapters.
I'm not a big a fiction fan, but I really enjoyed his.
Hey, Jerry Wagner. Hey, join us
Hey.
in there. Jerry and Chris, they were with us in last season, and we had a blast. And
We did.
at least I did. I think Jerry, I made him pull up the anchor.
You made him do a lot more than that. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Jerry.
So he's hesitant to come and join us again this year, I think. But hey, Ken Mays.
Well, they have a wedding coming up, so
Yeah. Hey.
kids getting married. By the way, our daughter's getting married.
Oh yeah.
She's engaged. What do you mean, oh yeah?
I just didn't know you were announcing that. That's all.
Oh,
Okay.
she said it was okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. So our daughter is getting married, not for another year. I think next October
Yeah.
or something like that. So.
So we got a
Yeah.
new son. We love him. He's
Yeah.
just as sarcastic as the rest of the family.
Yeah, fits right in.
Fits
Actually,
right
you've seen him.
in.
He's been in some of our videos.
He has. They were in the Exumas with us.
Yeah.
Albert and Devin.
Yeah, especially when they're the ones who jumped off the boat. If you saw one of our videos where somebody jumped off the flybridge into the water when we were in the Exumas, that was my daughter
That was
and
them.
her
They're brave enough to do
and,
that.
and
I
her
don't know.
and her fiance.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
No onion. No
I-
olives.
yeah.
Straight vodka.
In a fancy glass, because that makes it classier,
Yep.
right? Does that?
Yeah, basically. See, if you go to a bar and you order cold vodka, you're an alcoholic. But if you get it in a fancy glass and call it a martini, you're sophisticated.
What?
So, anyway, I do apologize for not putting out very many videos this winter. I usually try to get a video out every week. But this winter it's been like maybe every 2 weeks, maybe even sometimes every 3 weeks.
Right.
Mostly because we ran out of footage. You know, our season last year was cut short by the anchor problem. So,
And thank goodness it was.
oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like if you think the universe doesn't handle stuff, it totally did.
Well, she's lucky because we could have been in the Bahamas when she had her appendix burst. I
Right.
don't know if you saw that video or not, but yeah, there's one where her appendix burst and she was in the hospital and could have died. And hell, if that had happened when we were somewhere on an island someplace.
Uninhabited island. So it's just weird how
Yeah.
that worked out.
Yeah, no, that did work out.
Red Bull and vodka.
Well.
Always, Jared.
But I was just it's something I wanted to talk about, and then.
I disturbed your brain.
Yeah.
I disturbed your synapses, old man.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well.
Blackberry Crown with Diet Coke.
Well, okay.
Lemon drop martinis, red wine. Oh my God, I'm such a fan of red wine. But I went back on keto because apparently I gained a lot of weight. So I'm back on it. So, ugh.
Yeah, and she's got me on keto now too, because apparently I need to look better this season. I got to keep the stomach in this season. I got to keep my posture better or something. So I'm really glad this is working though, because I was really nervous about being able to get the system running really quick like I had to. Cool. Okay.
Christopher Chronicles is doing a refit right now on his Hatteras.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
You know, I wanted to mention though, like any, I know, those of you who are already in boats and are going to the Bahamas this year, let us know.
Yeah.
I did have a couple people reach out and that they're going to be in the Bahamas. Sometimes we miss people, they're there now and they're coming back before we go. But if you think you're going to be in the Bahamas or Turks and Caicos or Puerto Rico around this time period, let us know too, because we'd love to meet up and have some drinks and hang out and share boating stories.
Ken May's drinking a Long Island iced tea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a 2 Long Island iced tea girl drinker.
Yeah.
Because after 3, yeah.
After 3 she passes out. So she's
No, I'm tired.
Yeah, she's tired. She's no fun after 3. She's lots of fun after 2 though.
And Stephen Kravitz is his Kettle One martini. Oh yay!
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, I like Kettle One. It's probably my favorite.
Yeah, well, that's what we almost. Wow, this is almost gone. Jeez.
Yeah, well.
It was full this morning.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Ed's gonna go to bourbon.
Yeah, I'll let her have the rest of the vodka.
Oh, Doug, I hope we do see you this year.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. I know we're having a hard time reading these as they go through, but send us messages or text afterwards, or a comment on something. So let us know if you're going to be in the Bahamas, because we'd love to meet up. And also in Florida too. We have a couple of people that we're meeting. Once we get to Florida, in Titusville, and then we're going to stop right across from Cocoa. We have some fans that have invited us to stop by and hang out at their place, so we're going to do that.
That should be fun.
Yeah. So, and then we're going to be in West Palm for at least a day or two. Usually we kind of finish up.
Depending the crossing, because that's where we cross from.
Yeah. So usually we get there. Maybe we go and do a little bit more provisioning, but we do wait for the weather window. And of course, we're going to be waiting for weather windows this whole trip. So no matter which leg, I should have mentioned this earlier too. If you do want to join us on this trip, a couple things you need to know. We could be a day late or a day early someplace. Day early is fine, we stay, but the weather could slow us down. So you need to be flexible. Like, if you're flying into Nassau and you're supposed to meet us on the 10th, and we don't get there to the 12th, that could happen. Also, I also like to say, if you do want to join, make sure, I guess, you're kind of committed to it, because a couple of years ago we had two couples in a row.
Well, one was for a good reason.
Yeah,
he broke his leg.
Yeah, I know.
And we all know how Lynn feels about princesses on the boat, so I wasn't going to take care of anybody with a broken leg.
But
I just wanted to say, Mick Brennan is joining us with martinis. Cheers,
cool.
bro.
Cheers.
And Steve, I'm totally gonna butcher your name, so I'm just gonna call you Bagorgeous. And he is the reason he bought a Hatteras 80.
Who is?
Steve Bagorgeous. I know that's not how you say your name.
You mean we're the reason you bought
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yes. You're the reason I have a Hatteras 80. Thanks. Yeah. I mean,
80?
I hope so. Yeah.
1980 or 80 foot?
1980 or 80 foot, bro.
Okay.
I think it's an 80, right? A 1980.
Probably. I never heard of an 80. There's 70s, lots of 70s.
Yeah.
I love the 70s
I would think
still.
it's 80.
And if I had the courage back then, I probably would have got a 70. I love our 58. But at the time, the 58 was so big to me. We were shopping for a 53 because I was coming from the Carver, which was a 40, and I was scared to death of this 58. Now, not so much. But the only bad thing about it, if you get a 70, it's much harder to get slips over 65 feet. So that's an issue.
Right. Speaking of Lenny Kravitz, the brother of whatever, we were actually surprisingly anchored. It was with Kristen and Craig, and we trespassed on his property, but we didn't know it was his property.
Yeah.
So we went to the only frickin' bar in town, and they were like, "Oh, where's your dinghy?" And we told them, and they're like, "Oh, that's Lenny Kravitz's property."
Yeah, we cut right through.
So,
There were security
whoopsie.
cameras and all. we dodged a lot, and So we kind of went around, we swam around sort of when we went back to the boat. So.
Okay, Shark 312 had a survey done this week on his boat.
Oh yeah.
So, wait, on your boat or the boat you're buying? And anyway,
Yeah.
he said he sent it to you, so you'll have to take a look at that.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting an insurance survey, which is different than a purchase survey. A purchase survey, you want them to rip the whole damn thing apart and make sure everything's right. An insurance survey, you want them to make sure things are right, but you don't want them nitpicking things because whatever they nitpick, you're going to have to fix for the insurance company. Not that I'm worried about our boat. Our boat's in pretty good shape. We keep up with things. There's always something on a boat, but we do our best to keep up it, especially safety-wise. So I'm not even worried about that. But we'll see.
Kevin, that drink sounds amazing. He's got 2 ounces of spice rum, a ½ ounce of lime juice, a ½ ounce of cream coconut, 4 ounces of sour mix, and key lime cocktail, which is, it sounds delicious. Did you guys get that instructions? Because recipe, gorgeous, whatever. That's, now you're going to call Steve. Now you're going to call yourself, I'm Steve Gorgeous. That was Steve saying LOL.
Okay. Well, you have to comment on Lynn's
80 foot. He did it 80 foot.
80 foot. Okay.
You're insane.
Okay. Lynn's wearing new glasses now, in case you didn't know.
Oh yeah, I forget what they're called.
So
but
she's
they're
going to have a
super
different.
light.
She's going to have a different vibe this year, I think.
Oh no, wait, these are my.
Was that your old ones?
No, they're not.
Okay. I have new glasses too.
We're yeah.
Not that I wear them much. Usually I'm so vain that I take them off before I do my spiel on the bridge. And I put them back on as soon as I'm done because I'm going to run into something in the middle.
This is an interesting. So Captain Sterling Kennedy wants to know, and this is true. Steve, where would you dock an 80-foot boat?
Yeah.
That's wow.
Well, it's not. You can obviously, but you're going to be at bigger marinas always, and you're mostly going to be on the bulkheads or the T heads, because there's not a lot of marinas, at least in the States, with 80-foot slips. In the Bahamas, it don't really matter. You're just going to drop a hook most places anyway, so we don't really care about that. But we do have friends that have 70s, and they say it is much more difficult. Especially if you're trying to do something like the ICW going up and down the coast.
Because there's like only one slip available that you can get in, and if some SOB gets in there before you, then you just got to have a anchor out back up.
But you have to plan ahead when you have a boat that big because you might get a marina that can take it, but they've only got 1 or 2 slips that'll take that size boat, so you need to plan ahead. We don't really plan ahead. Usually when we're getting slips, I'm calling the day before or the morning of. Because sometimes we just don't know where we're going to end up, and it's very rare for me not to be able to get a slip someplace with a 58-foot. Or in our case, we're like 60. Right. I think we're 65 with the swim platform and the pulpit.
No, we're 58.
No, we're 65 when I'm bragging about my boat. We're 58 when I'm getting a marina.
So Christopher Chronicles, he went from a 48 Hatteras. And he had it 19 years. That's pretty good, Chris. And to the 70 cockpit this year. Oh. And that's really nice. I do like the cockpits. I kind of sort of wish we had one. Cause
you're okay, yeah.
Yeah, the cockpit.
Yeah, they're cool. They make it easy to do certain things. But
yes.
I was thinking today, this is going to be our ninth. I just had a tooth fix. I broke a tooth and I chipped it, and so I have a lisp now. I'm trying to get adjusted to my new tooth.
Getting old, isn't it wonderful?
Or maybe I just have a lisp now, or lisp. Okay, whatever. Now I forgot what I was saying.
Also a sign of old age. So Mark Grant, love your name. I saw your video year after year, boating cost. I wondered if you would consider to berth in Beaufort, or is that Beaufort, because they're both spelled the same, or Hilton Head, to reduce costs in Florida, insurance and better slippage rates and amenities.
Well, he's probably talking about Beaufort since he's talking about the Carolina, the southern part. We've been to both Beaufort and Beaufort, and you don't want to mispronounce their town's name when you're there.
Oh, Lord, no.
But no, we did. We were looking. We were looking around Hilton Head. We were looking at Myrtle Beach. We were looking at all those places because they're far enough south that we don't have to winterize, which is a big deal for us. And but right when we were looking, this slip opened up in Titusville, which we had not really considered. But a friend of ours down there, Scott, had noticed that a slip had opened up unexpectedly, I guess. And he contacted us right away, and we happened to be in the area going by, so we stopped in for a transient slip, and we liked the place.
Scott and Misha.
Yeah, Scott and so that's how we ended up there. But we were very seriously considering the Carolinas because, you know, it's a little bit closer to us, but you know, it's closer to our destination. So I would definitely, if I didn't have something in Titusville, because I can tell you, Florida is expensive. Most marinas in Florida are very expensive. Now you can find some good things up on the northern part of Florida, like Titusville. Kennedy Point is in Titusville. That's good. And up the St. Johns River, I hear there's some good places. But if you start going like Fort Pierce and south, our boat, we'd be paying $3,000 a month.
But to me, the expense, I'm sure it is to you, but it's the safety of the matter. Like those couple of hurricanes that came through Titusville. I mean, we had shaky and got to see the bottom of Forrest's boat.
Yeah, no, I mean, there is, our Titusville is a very safe marina. Although we are considering that one that John it turned us on to in Palm Beach area. I forget the name of the marina, but he moved his boat there. And that's supposed to be a hurricane hole as well. So we might.
Okay, yeah. Because that's what I worry about. Because like we're not as close to our boat anymore, so like a little safety hole is good.
Yeah, no, it is important to us because like she said, we can't get to the boat anytime quick, and Titusville is very safe for hurricanes. Mostly, well, first of all, there's no surge because there's a lock at Cape Canaveral, and the nearest inlets are like 30 miles south, 30 miles north. So even if a hurricane goes by, the water doesn't rise much, and it's not really the winds that get you in a hurricane. It's usually the surge because your boat rises. It rises. The water gets above the level of the docks. And they're usually made out of wood, and they start breaking apart because they're underwater now. They're trying to float. All hell breaks loose and everything goes floating. But Titusville doesn't have a surge.
And speaking of Titusville, Kenny, he said his favorite videos were the one with polishing the chrome and the Star Trek Q with Q. So polishing the chrome, I came up with.
Wait, you're talking about the skit you did?
The skits, yeah. So is because I was out there polishing the stainless steel, and I noticed that all the girls were polishing the stainless steel. So I have a 12-year-old boy's mind, so that's how we got with that. And Q, we were on my 60th birthday.
Yeah, your 60th birthday.
We went to
up
the Catskills.
Yeah, and we just were trying to figure out a way to make that interesting, so we did that little skit.
Yeah, so
we love doing skits.
We love it.
Now, my favorite one was when you were standing here and I came in going, "Hey, who wants to go to the boat show?"
Oh yeah, I love that.
I thought that.
There was a lot of hard work for Ed to do, and that particular one you're talking about, the Annapolis Boat Show, which those boat show things are usually pretty boring. Yeah. But like his intro was great.
Ours are kind of boring too. That's why we try to do interesting intros to the boat shows. Because who wants to watch? People want to go to a boat show. Who wants to watch us idiots go to a boat show, right?
Yeah.
So we try to make it interesting. We do a skit. So we done Star Trek. We did that one where we did multiple. Remember there was stuck up elitist Ed and Lynn over here, and there was the drunk alcoholic Ed and Lynn's over here, and then we did the normal Ed and Lynn's.
That was great.
I enjoyed that. That was fun to do.
Everybody's saying Melbourne Harbor is a hurricane hole as well.
Yeah. I suppose probably for much of the same reasons. There's no inlet close by, and the thing is, we can't really get into Melbourne. Well, we can, but there's very few slots. We tried to go there for a transient before, and they couldn't get us in. They had one T-head available, but it was only a 30-foot long T-head. In a 60-some foot boat. We've done it, before. We don't want to do it, so I don't know that we could get into Melbourne.
Linda Frazier from Mark and Linda. We met them at Schaefer's.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we miss you guys too.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, yeah, we met them a couple places, actually.
Yeah.
Then we met them at a bar in Jersey we went to that one time. Yeah, hi.
Oh, I look much younger for my age.
Yeah, no, it's the lighting.
Let me just get back here.
Yeah, I can hit blur on here if you want. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lori. Lori, we are so excited you guys are coming. You have no idea, girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, our boat needs to be polished and cleaned, and we need the oil changed. So that's why we're inviting you, Joe. No, it's going to be.
Laura,
You know, I know.
They were great.
I know, yeah.
It's like I woke up in the morning, like I always do the planning for the next day to where we're going,
Yeah.
and then I double check the weather. And I think the first time Lori and Joe were with us, Lori had it all done before I had my cup of coffee. Oh, that's done. And I was like, oh my God.
No. Lori and Joe are some of our favorite people on the planet.
And
they're just
funny as F.
Yeah, if you saw that video where he pretended I had him trapped on the boat to do chores,
I mean,
that was another skip, and that was funny as hell.
They were even funny as, Joe was puking over the side of the boat. I mean, like, everything was funny, so they're great people.
We're gonna have to wrap up soon, I think.
Yeah.
I think we've been on, what have we been on, like 30 so many? Yeah, people get bored with us after probably 5 minutes.
Right, and I gotta make some dinner, because it's
Yeah.
like dinner time, and we're not going out tonight, we're making it in.
Yeah, we're eating in tonight. Well, it's Sunday. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
You
it's
sure you wanna
Sunday,
go out?
Sunday fun day.
We can still go out. I mean,
Well,
it's only.
No, I got shit planned. It's right there, all ready to go.
You haven't even started yet.
That takes seconds.
Okay, well, anyway, we should wrap it up, and like I said, we have hardly had a chance to read the comments, so we will probably do a video where we answer any questions like that.
We'll definitely answer all the comments.
I know we always say there's going to be Q&A at the end, but I don't think we actually ever do that. But
Well, we just did a little bit of that, so hey.
okay, cool.
But
Okay, well.
till probably not next week, the following week.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Roger out.
Roger out. Oh, I gotta click something here, don't I? Well, this is where my son goes, boomer. Actually, I'm a Gen Xer. Well, I don't know. Joneser is what we really are.
Yeah, you're not a Gen Xer.
Okay, so here's where I say, cheers.
Cheers. Roger out. Remember that time we were on? And
Yeah,
Gary called us?
but I remembered it too, and he was calling, and I was like, wait a second. that was funny. Okay.
Wrap up. I can make dinner.
I hope I saved it, you know.
Hope you did too.
I guess it went well. About 15 minutes in, I think we started running out of things to say and just
I
kind of.
had my board sheet, but it was only supposed to be a half an hour.
Well, we did 37 minutes. That's not that bad.
That's fine. No more though.
Why does it still say we're streaming?
What now?
No,
That would be funny.
yeah, you know what? Because we still are, because I'm a boomer, like I said.